All right, and welcome back to Over the Moon. And now today we have a special guest as we
Yes.
continue our episodes. Nate, take it away.
Hey, we do have a special guest today. We have one of our IT and emergency management. We have Mr. Mike Brown, who's always a great time to be around. So really excited to have you on the Over the Moon today.
I am happy to be here.
So Mike, just kind of, I know you, Pam knows you, but why don't you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit like what you do around here?
So my name is Mike Brown. I am the senior IT technician for the tribe and the casino.
The Miami tribe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also work in the gaming commission and as the emergency manager for the tribe. So several hats like everybody else.
It's kind of fun, isn't
Yes,
it?
the culture of the multiple hats. Yes.
You get up at morning and you're like, which hat do I want to be today?
Happy to have all those hats. I'm happy to work with this tribe. It's one of the good ones.
It is.
Do you have a particular hat you enjoy more?
I love emergency management. I love training.
Yeah.
Instructor for CPR and first aid, AED stuff. That's always been a passion. I've been doing it for about 25 years.
So kind of go into deeper detail with that responsibility and role, Mike, if you can.
Well, for the responsibility of training, it gives me the ability to pass on a little bit of knowledge from the emergency medical technician stuff that I had in my history. So I was an EMT basic and then EMT intermediate. Close to paramedic, didn't quite make that. But
How long ago was that?
that was back in the early 2000s.
Okay.
So from then, I went to work for a casino, different casino.
Yeah.
Will not mention the name.
Yeah.
That was my first foray into casino work, and I really liked it. I was started as a security guard.
Sweet.
And worked there for a few years, moved up to the safety officer, and been really loving working in the casinos ever since.
Sweet. So the EMT part, any crazy stories to tell us about the EMT
I
side?
have some pretty gross stories. Most as a medic, you get most of the gross stories, but I did have a few that were bad. We were doing CPR, and I did not have my one-way protective valve on, and sometimes when you give CPR, the body does things that you don't like, and got a mouthful of stuff I didn't like. So not so much funny, but you look back on it, and it tickles me. But to do that this day and age with everything going around, that would be great.
With having that kind of experience, is that why you like teaching it more, you think? Is because you've been there, you've dealt with it, and then you can teach people like, hey, this is why it's important because I've been through that situation.
That's exactly why. What I'd like to do is to have everyone in the entire tribe trained for first aid, CPR, and AED, because it's a good specific training that you never know when you're going to need. Like the incident we had here at the casino recently. When they're trained appropriately, I feel like they know what to do in an emergency. So this particular person took care of it exactly how they were supposed to and probably saved a life.
And we'll let everybody know this person we're talking about is one of my employees.
Here we go.
Here goes Pam taking.
So we know that person is special.
Listen, this is all we've heard about for the last few days. It's my employee.
My employee, my department.
She would be.
She did great. I agree.
She did great, and hats off to you, Mike, because those we send them to them trainings with you, and I've sat through them trainings, and you definitely make it interesting and make it to where you want to be there. It's not just, oh, here's the video, here's the next video. You actually engage and you throw some personal stories, like with being the EMT in there. And
with stuff like that, you want to make sure that you prepare them as much as possible, and you got to keep them entertained or they get bored. So some of the programs require that you watch videos, and they're very boring. So you have to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, you do. And I have a question. You was talking about you started out kind of like going in towards the EMT. I have a question.
Yes.
As an EMT, what do they do with people's clothes they take off of them when they're in the ambulance?
The
We do
clothes.
have a
Do
bag.
they
that we put 'em in.
save them?
Oh yeah, yeah. Even if we cut it off,
Yeah.
which was,
You give it back to the people?
yeah,
What if they don't give it back then?
then we give you clothes to wear.
Okay.
The hospital has a nice big selection of very clean.
I'm still missing a swimsuit. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We'll look into that one. You
That
know,
may have slipped through.
It might have went. I don't know where it went, but yeah.
I've got a contact. I'll try to figure it out.
Okay.
That's a big question, though. But yeah, training is very important to me. If I could do it full time, that's what I would do.
Sweet. So another question for that one. So when you're training the employees, it always crosses my mind, like if a situation happens like that, me personally, I would probably freeze up. I mean, how do you avoid all that?
So
Correct.
You try to make the people that are taking the class as comfortable as possible, because when they get comfortable, they absorb a lot more than just if we're doing videos and we're not interacting with each other. Some people do, though, freeze up and get scared, and instead of stopping and helping, they can walk by, and that's scary to me as a trainer, that people that are trained will walk by an incident without even trying to help it. A lot of people are scared to get sued, think they will get sued, which most of the time, if they're acting in good faith, they're not going to be sued. We have those roles in place to keep us from being sued if we act responsibly.
Giving the employees more confidence to handle the situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that employee that handled that situation recently did super great. And I thought the most impressive part was that person was calm.
Absolutely.
Yes, of all people. Because anybody that knows her, she loses her mind over the penny landing on the wrong side.
I was so impressed.
I am too. She did great.
you know how when we told her she had to call you, she was.
Oh, she was scared.
like,
She
"Why
just
am I
knew
gonna-"
she's in trouble.
She, when I answered the phone, she didn't sound very happy to be on the phone. So
Because she thought she was in trouble.
I had to assure her that she wasn't, and she's a great person.
Yes.
Yeah. She did
Absolutely.
great. Yeah. She did great.
So, kind of switching departments here on your mic, putting on that IT hat. What's some of the biggest challenges you face doing IT in a casino, like especially with all the slot machines and everything?
Cybersecurity is, as everybody knows now, one of the biggest problems for casinos and other businesses. But there are those groups that particularly try to get to casinos and get to their infrastructure. And so you have to build a very robust system or a network admin. We have several different layers of security. And we do vulnerability testing to make sure that we don't have as many weak spots as we used to.
That's good.
For sure. Cyber attacking is actually a pretty common thing nowadays. It's a full-time business, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The ransomware part of it, a lot of Vegas casinos have seen a lot recently that's very expensive to get their data back. So,
Yeah, we've even had some local casinos in Oklahoma having cyber attacks. So it's no joke.
yeah, it isn't. They will keep your data and ransom it to you. So if you don't pay it, they'll
So then you have
delete
to
it.
pay to get it back.
Yeah, we have several different options when we do our backups. So we have offsite backups. So if this building gets destroyed, we have a copy somewhere else, and we also have copies in the cloud. So if we had to, we could restore from there.
Well, that's good.
So, but one of the most challenging parts of the job is the electronics themselves. They are hard to work with.
I was going to say it's running the wires through all these through all the
Oh, my
everything.
land.
Yeah.
Some of that part is not very fun. Funny story with that is Stephen was working over at Prairie Sun when it was open. He was running wire under the floor. So
Oh, shoot.
he had some cones around his hole in the floor because it's a subfloor, so it was up about 2.5, 3 feet. And we had a customer not really
Yes.
watch where she was going. And he
Yes.
also had a security guard there in case somebody got close to tell him to back up, but they got a call, so they had to go.
Oh no.
And this lady walked right over him.
Ah.
He was right under the hole, thank goodness, and he just took the trauma to the back like a champ. And she got hurt a little bit. I think she got a twisted ankle out of that. So
Jeez.
I'm about to say, I know I saw Jim, who used to be the manager over the Sun. He fell in the subfloor the one day while we were there working. So
Oh, my
it's a
land.
dangerous thing because most people don't think that there's anything under a floor other than maybe, 1.5 feet or whatever. These can be deep because they run so much electric, all your network cabling.
So you probably get pretty upset. That's why Stephen keeps asking me, when are we doing this? When are we doing this? When I'm talking about the changes I'm making at the bar.
Absolutely.
He says, oh, you're going to have TVs where? I said, oh, one over here, one over there, one over here. Oh, have you talked to anybody about running them cables? I said, well, no, not yet, because we're not doing it yet.
That's one of the
Do you need like a 6-month advance notice that I'm going to be putting TVs up?
You wouldn't think so, but actually, probably so. We're booked up. We not only do IT for the casino, but
Right.
we handle the entire Miami tribe.
Yep.
We handle Miami Nation Enterprises. So we go out with all of their businesses
Yep.
in their financial arm and handle all of their IT stuff for them.
How
so it
many
gets
of
quite
you
busy.
is there?
There's 4.
So
Yeah,
you need
4.
like 4 plus floor. 4.
Yeah.
Floor. You got me talking about the floor when I'm trying to say 4. Okay.
Back when I started in IT, I was the only IT person for the casino and the tribe. So,
Wow.
yeah, I'd taken over from our chief.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting. I went from security manager at the casino to IT director of 2 casinos and
Yay.
the tribe.
And the tribe.
Yeah.
So that was pretty scary.
So with that being said, Mike, you've been here for how long with the tribe?
I've been here since 2009, so going on 17 years.
17 years. Wow.
Wow.
Kudos to you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So seeing the beginning stages of probably this casinos, right?
Absolutely.
You saw the moon. Where was it during that time when you first joined?
When I first joined, we had a hallway,
Yep.
one straight hallway with one little cutout on the side and another bump out in the back with some games in it. And we probably had 50 or 75 games back
Oh,
then.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it was
Little Miami.
It was really different when I first started in the IT part of it. We started running what was new then to us is the back of the house system, setting up for point play and all the customer benefits they get from using a card when they play.
Oh, so were you here when we didn't use cards?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I
That's
worked
way
at-
back.
I actually worked here as a security guard in 2009. So, yeah, we hadn't had anything here except games. So no back of house system, nothing like that.
Wow. Was the restaurant around?
Eventually we had Josie's.
Josie's came
Okay.
around later.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Part of the building that we were in originally was the Title VI program for most of the tribes that handle meals and
Wow.
care for elders.
Okay. Very interesting. And then the sun came in later.
Yep, Sun came in 2013.
Okay.
So Chief and I were handling the building and the wiring configuration of all of those games and controls. And
How much of a nightmare was that, having to install all that? That's a lot going on.
he and I, in a month, we put in something like 500 hours.
Goodness.
So
Yeah.
it was, don't see family
No, you don't see anybody, do you? Take a nap and get up and start again.
We actually have a couch in one of our offices just in case something like that happens and you have to nap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
But
gosh.
when you're trying to do upgrades and things to the casino, you want to do it early in the morning when nobody's here, so you don't affect
Yeah.
game
Right.
operations.
I know I've come in a few overnights with you for some work, so
Telling you, the older I get, the harder it is to work those night shifts. I'm telling you, they get me.
It is, isn't it? I agree. I'm
It-
right
it-
there
then it
with
throws
you.
off your whole schedule for the next couple of days, trying to get back into your regular sleep pattern.
Absolutely, and it's hard to do,
Yeah.
especially
But
when
you're
you're old.
young, Nate.
Yeah, I'm old. You're young.
You should be able to
I'm not
work a
able to.
graveyard and take a little nap and be back by
Yeah.
8:30, 9 o'clock in the
I
morning.
then
usually
do a
work.
podcast
I
show.
usually work a graveyard and then just stay through 8 a.m. to 4, and
Do a
just
podcast,
do
do a
podcasts,
Facebook.
Yeah.
have a meeting or two, and
Commercial.
You guys wear a lot of hats, so
Yeah, that's the
kudos-
culture.
Kudos to you guys for the way the
keeps the
casino
day-
operation has been. The building, it looks phenomenal.
I appreciate it.
A lot of the changes that are
Yes.
made are for the best.
Yeah.
Employees seem to be happy, which is important,
That's great.
and that transfers into customer service. So
well, we're definitely working hard over here because we're obviously a representation of the tribe, and we want to put our best foot forward out there for everybody. And
yeah, absolutely.
Sad part of it is, though, Mike, I bet you get phone calls from the employees when they're not happy.
Yeah, wait,
my computer's not working.
with all things,
Yes.
all things being equal, yeah, nobody is really ever happy to call IT. So
No.
you kind of get the brunt of their frustration, and computers are really frustrating. Anyway, even for me, I don't have any formal training in IT, so what I learned, I was taught by Chief, and I handle things as I can, but technology is starting to get so far out there
It's starting to move faster.
that
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
people like our network admin to take care of the network.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast the technology is moving now.
Especially with AI. It's
Yeah.
although AI is already ruined.
Yeah, I started making conversations with.
Well, let me share something with you.
Nate.
This is kind of sad. It's sad about the plane crash in D.C.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But they were interviewing this gentleman. It was his wife and son that was on that plane. And he has 3 other children at home. The youngest being a boy, age 7. And the 7-year-old asked him, he said, Dad, can't they reboot him?
Oh,
And I'm like, oh,
Oh
my
my
gosh.
that's a heartbreaker.
Little kids are like, because that's all they hear when the game quits working
Yep.
or something goes off on TV. Well, just reboot it. Reboot the Wi-Fi, reboot this, reboot that. Little kid, that's all he's ever heard is reboot everything. So why can't we reboot Mom?
That's tough.
That's a tough one.
Wow, Pam, way to make it sad.
Well,
Yeah, good job.
I aim to please.
Well, on
I
that
was
note,
just talking about,
Yeah.
because every time I talk to IT, that's the first thing they ask me. Did you reboot?
Yeah, we have that on a loop that when people call in, it just automatically says, "Hello, IT, have you rebooted yet?"
Yes. Yes.
That's step one.
that sounds like a good T-shirt you should make for the IT department.
They
Hello,
should
thanks
have
for
that.
calling IT. Have you tried rebooting first?
Yes.
It usually works, and you'll ask them if they rebooted, and they said yes, and then you kind of remote into their computer to look, and it's been up for 20 days without a reboot, and you're like, let's
Needs
reboot it.
rebooted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try this again.
So, real quick, Mike, you touched on the growth of Prairie Moon. So you've been here. You've seen a lot of changes, right?
Absolutely.
From where we have been here at the Moon to now. Kind of dive in a little further on what you've seen and changes and where it has been to now.
Oh my goodness! You start with a simple thing like keys. You have secure keys that go to all the games
Yeah.
and lead to secure areas, and we didn't have the maglock infrastructure that we have now. We didn't have a key watcher. We had a log, a paper log that you would go to the cashier.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
If you needed in a machine, you would just check out keys from them, and then be responsible for turning them back in. But that technology is probably helped with security.
Oh, I'm
a
sure.
lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because not just everybody has access to the keys. If you don't have a code to get into the key watcher box, you're not getting no keys.
Yeah, we had some growing pains, and there were reasons why we got the key watcher.
I'm sure.
Yes, we had some things happen, but the games themselves, player tracking, they've advanced a long way since I started. Like I said, we didn't have it when I started, but when we got it, it was still pretty basic. I mean, it would do your player management, but it wasn't used as a device that you could make.
It wasn't what it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now, we talked about it on the one podcast episode. We just got it to where you can use your points at the machines right now versus,
Having to bring them up.
yeah,
Yeah.
6 months ago, that's not how it was. And it's so much better for the customer being able to sit there and just load their points in. And it makes it easier for everybody on the floor. And it's amazing.
Technology is great.
Yeah.
I mean, even though every time you have a plan to do something, it never, ever, ever goes to plan. So you take your amount of time that you have set aside for the upgrade or whatever, and probably add 25% to it, just so you can get it done.
That's a good point.
But IT, it's systems working together, and if you have one little line of code that's off, none of it will work. And it will take hours to figure out.
Oh, I understand. Just like the Christmas lights. If one bulb burns out, the whole string doesn't work.
Yeah.
But if you replace that one bulb, if you can figure out which one is the burnt out one and replace it, they all come back on.
I think
So,
I
hey,
think
I'm
Pam's-
kind of understanding IT now.
I think Pam's got a future in IT.
you have.
No.
Yeah.
Because when I'm calling, I can hear him in the background. Oh, my God. It's Pam. Who wants to take this call?
But
Listening into
This-
our
This
conversation.
old, this old lady don't get none
Oh,
of it.
trust me.
yeah, they screen your calls.
I
Trust
know.
Me, yeah.
I know.
We
I
take
always
care
say,
of
well,
you.
can you come by and just fix it?
No, we need to remote in.
Oh, and I say, now go where? Do what?
That's when she tries to bribe you. If you come over, I'll have a burger. waiting
Yeah, you
for
can have a burger.
Yeah.
My favorite food. She knows the way to my heart, a cheeseburger. Just like Andy Reid.
Yeah, hey,
Oh,
Loves his cheeseburgers.
Yes, he does,
that
doesn't
he
he?
does.
Got a game coming up, don't we?
He needs to come here and get a cheeseburger.
Super game coming up.
I'm nervous,
Me too. Me too.
but it
I'm
should
not
be
nervous at all.
I wonder why.
good.
I mean, I really have faith
Yeah.
in
think
the
Red Kingdom will
Chiefs.
pull
I
it off.
really think they'll pull it off.
Oh man, I mean, I need to
too.
put money on the Eagles then.
Oh,
Well,
The over
You
let's
know,
not go there.
he's just upset because Baker's not in it anymore.
But he has
Yeah,
a
for sure.
Sooner quarterback on the Eagles.
I do, yeah. Yeah.
You can't claim Jalen Hurts, okay? Just because he played one
I was
season,
going to say,
he's
he
not
transferred in
like-
right at the beginning and
Yeah.
was like,
He's
One
an
season.
everybody knows him as an Alabama quarterback. You ask anybody who Jalen Hurts played for in college, Alabama.
yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one either.
Yeah.
because-
James, who did Jalen Hurts play for in college?
You play for the Sooners.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boomer Sooner all the way.
Oh boy.
So, Mike, what's your favorite thing to do outside of work when you get some you time?
Well, recently, I've taken my first trip outside the country. So I went to Mexico for about 8 days.
Sweet.
That was a blast. But regularly, I play guitar, bass guitar. And
You play bass?
Nice.
my dad has
Hey.
been in country music all of his life. He plays the pedal steel guitar. So we kind of go down, and my brother plays guitar, and kind of just get together and play.
Oh, how
What's
fun.
your favorite artist, Mike?
I like all the old stuff. I like Alan Jackson,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
George Jones,
Mm.
some of the oldies like me.
I was listening to Randy Travis on my way back into today.
I love Randy Travis.
Randy Travis was my first kind of concert. We went to a Kansas City Royals game, and he performed like 3 songs after the Royals game.
That's sweet.
So he was kind of my first concert, but my first true concert was Cheap Trick.
That's a good concert.
Yeah.
too.
Trick.
I got a guitar.
That's a big difference.
I got a guitar pick from the lead guitarist too. He placed it right in my hand. So,
Do you remember the band Warrant?
yes.
I got to
Yes.
meet all of the original members of Warrant back in, oh my gosh, I can't remember the year. It was in Joplin in a place called Roadhouse Ruby's when it was open.
Wow.
So, yeah, he came to the table and we were swapping the microphone around, taking turns singing his
That's
song while he took the bottle of alcohol.
There was
we
something
had
else
on the
bad
set.
night.
He drank, we sang.
Yeah.
So it was a fun time. So,
How
That's
fun.
yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Other than that, just spending time with family.
That's good. So, when you went to Mexico, was it just a trip to Mexico, or did you go on a cruise? Or?
It was a trip.
And it was a real trip,
trip.
right?
It is quite eye opening when you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
So their customs is pretty significant down there. We I do some vaping, and I did not know that you're not allowed to take a vape across the border.
Oh, wow.
Just a nicotine vape.
So was you on that show, Smugglers? Did they think you were smuggling something?
I got checked, extra checked.
Your bags and
three times.
everything?
Oh, man.
3 times on the way out there and twice on the way out, once on the way back.
Oh.
So they searched me and then they took their little swabs and ran them over my hands to make sure I wasn't carrying any drugs so I must have looked
You
like
must have looked like,
I must have
yeah.
looked nervous going through there. I'm like, just please let me back into my own country. I don't want to be stuck.
Oh, man.
That would be scary. But yeah, that was a good time.
Well, good. I'm about to say we went on a cruise and we went through and we stopped in Cozumel. So I know it can be fun down there.
Ours was Puerto Vallarta. Weather was beautiful, 85 degrees every day. So you go out and spend it on the beach. And
That's where I would stay the whole day.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Just sit on the
I'm
beach.
so white. But that is not possible without
Oh, but
crispy,
that
real
sort of
crispy.
crispy red. Yeah.
But Jody, she soaks that in and she gets really dark.
Speaking of red, Nate, you want to tell them that story about the Kansas City trip?
No.
Do you have a story?
Oh, does he?
Oh, yeah, because Pam wouldn't leave me alone in the meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Pam.
yeah, in the one meeting, you kept poking my sunburn.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
even try
right.
to deny it.
Did
That's
you get a
right.
little red?
So we drove all the way from here in Miami all the way to Kansas City with the top down in my Mustang.
Oh my gosh.
And
Sunlight and wind burn all at once.
yeah,
Yes.
because we're doing 75 to 80 down the highway.
Yeah.
It was July, I believe. So nice red hot sun beating down on me and my wife. And ooh, I was like Mr. Krabs red on my
Yeah,
I'm like,
he was
I was
blistered.
coming to the meetings with my sleeves up, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
feel the warmth. Unfortunately, she got it worse. It was her whole chest and both arms, and
Oh my goodness.
she actually had a surgery scheduled while she was sunburned, and we went into the hospital, and they're like, well, "Are you here for the surgery or for your sunburn?"
That looks like a pretty significant burn there.
Yeah, it was a lot of pain for a couple weeks.
Well, back in the old days, we had a music festival come to Joplin, and it was always in the hottest part of the year. And we had it was so hot that they had these girls that would come around and either spray you with a water bottle or douse some water on you. So I paid for that, and then I really paid for that afterwards. I had water blisters all over me from the sun.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, at least if you were there on Friday, you were doing Red Friday in Kansas City, wasn't you? By the time you got there,
Red King.
you didn't have to have your shirt on. You was already red.
You know what, Pam?
What?
Just wait. One of these summers, I'm gonna make sure you get sunburned. I'm always gonna come poke your sunburn.
Oh man.
I say we just bring her some shrimp.
Oh, let's don't do that. Now, Mike, be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice. That was bad.
You had a bad time.
You were there, weren't you?
I was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike saw the whole thing.
Oh, yes.
Because after you went back to the hotel, Mike still hung around and had fun with us.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah,
Till my
okay. Well, I
bedtime.
was fine once I got back to the hotel.
And then Pam felt like we all abandoned her.
Yes, I did.
What? Guys go.
And then they ordered breakfast when they got back to the hotel and didn't even think to ask me if I wanted anything to eat.
Well, after you lost
And
your
I'm in there just starving to death.
And why? Why were you starving?
Well, because I lost everything that was inside me.
Hey, just know that IHOP was
On
good
a-
at 1:30 in the morning.
On the floor under a table.
So in this podcast, we've talked about throwing up like twice.
Yeah, that's
Pretty cool.
It kind of comes with your
over the
paramedic.
moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what else do you like to do? Do you like sports? Do you like watching sports? Do you like to play sports?
I do not play sports. I do love watching my Chiefs.
Yep.
Raised,
So football's
born
your
and
main
bred,
thing to watch.
bleed. Love pro football.
How long were you a Chiefs fan?
Oh, golly, since I was 10.
Oh, when they were horrible.
Yeah.
Ooh, the dark days.
We've
The dark
suffered.
days.
We have
That's why
suffered.
it's so nice to have these days, is because we've had some very dark days.
Yeah, a lot of my kids, they like the Chiefs because I like the Chiefs, but they don't realize all of the pain and heartache we've been through. That's why you get so many haters on football chat rooms and stuff that just hate the Chiefs because they're winning so much. And I can
And they used to
feel
be the
some of that.
losers. Yes.
Yeah.
I can feel some of that irritation, but
I feel like the hate for the Chiefs now has even gone past the hate that there was for the Patriots when the Patriots were always.
I think you're right.
It seems.
I think everybody hates Mahomes worse than they ever did Brady.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy.
Yes.
That's
it's
why.
okay.
He'll be all right.
They can be the haters. We'll enjoy it.
Coming
Yeah.
this Sunday.
3 times Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes.
I hope so.
So what's next for the casino? What do you guys got going on this week?
What don't we have going on?
We've had commercials. We've
Yeah,
had Facebook
we
videos.
got our commercials, our Facebook. We just released our one Facebook video with me covered in barbecue sauce.
Yes. Because he
That I'll
can't
see.
eat. He can't eat wings without making a mess.
Yeah,
so
Nobody can eat wings without making a mess.
No.
right,
That's right.
right.
Sure.
we got our Burning Hearts wheel promotion coming up.
What's that?
Every Friday we do the wheel, but for Valentine's Day we're gonna have some special prizes and some special food specials going on. And
Yep.
What do you got cooking?
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh,
Yum, yum.
That's for dinner
Mm-hmm.
on Valentine's Day.
Winner, winner.
That sounds
No
great.
chicken dinner.
Meatballs for dinner.
Yes, spaghetti and meatballs.
I love it.
We got a
Love it.
meatball sub special this month too.
Yes.
That's
So
right. Yep.
So
We got a lot going on.
sounds like it.
Do you ever get bored? Do y'all ever have a day that nobody has a problem?
No.
I was gonna say
Somebody
I mean,
always has a problem every day.
I
don't
guarantee
they?
you, his phone never stops ringing.
Yeah. Since I've sat down here, my phone is vibrating like crazy. So
And they're like, Mike, where you at?
yeah.
Mike, we gotta get this fixed.
Yeah. If it's not somebody, it's my kids. And
So it's always something.
when they ask what were you doing on Thursday at about 1:30, you can be like, I was on Over the Moon podcast. Actually,
I actually was bragging to them this morning, so they already know.
Well, let's see. There you
And
go.
they told me, don't screw up. It'll be all over TikTok if you do.
Oh, my lands, that's funny.
Don't worry, you're gonna be all over TikTok anyway.
They didn't say don't embarrass us or
Well, they expect that.
yeah.
They're embarrassed
I hear
just
ya.
about everybody and myself.
Yeah. I hear you. I get told a lot, Granny, stop. Stop, Granny.
But it's so much
I
fun.
said, what am I doing? Just stop, Granny. Yeah, don't like to be picked on, so I get told to stop.
If you can't,
Sometimes when we go out with Pam, we have to tell her to stop too.
Yeah, they
She
do.
gets-
you get
They say,
rowdy.
Pam, stop.
Yeah.
Or they'll say, Pam and Sonia, be quiet.
Pam and Sonia.
That I believe.
That you believe?
Yeah, I can see you two together. But
Well, you know.
They just did a podcast together, and
We did.
They
And
did.
it went well.
was there any silence in there?
No.
there's going to be a part 2. I'm pretty sure. I'm
Yeah,
feeling that
probably.
coming.
Yeah.
We'll have to pick at each other or something. So
I think we might just do Pam and Sonia, like not even me or Stephanie be
Oh,
here.
that's
Just leave
right.
them 2 in here.
Yeah. Just have at it.
Yeah.
Not to brag, but I think the tribe has put the right people in place here to grow it and
I
be
agree.
successful. And that starts with managers and how they treat their employees. And
Everybody gets along.
Yep.
it was a wonderful thing to see that employee get recognized for what she did in an
yes.
emergency.
Yes.
So training kind of takes care of that, knowing what to do if you can keep it straight in your mind and not stress yourself about it. There are a lot of different emergency situations that come up in a casino. A lot of them are weather-based. I mean, we have the alert system built in to keep our staff safe. So they get emergency alerts during the weather, but medical stuff can happen in the casino in a blink of an eye. I mean, you've got
Well, yeah. One time we had a gentleman that wasn't feeling good. We ended up calling the ambulance for him. I think he might have been diabetic too.
that's
He was playing on a machine. He says, "Oh, I'm just not feeling good."
They know. Usually, they know when they're getting pretty low. but
Yeah.
sometimes they ignore it, and that's not a good thing.
They got to get that jackpot.
But you sit there, and
You're right.
some people sit and stare at the games.
Yes.
For way too long, and they can have seizures caused by the lights.
Yeah.
A lot of blinking lights happen. So you've got several different emergencies that can happen in a casino, and you kind of have to prepare for as much as you can.
Yeah. I must say, I know working on that floor, there's some days them lights, they'll get to you. You just got to
Yes.
step away from the floor and quit looking at them for a minute.
Casino is designed to pull your eye in certain ways.
For
So
sure.
if you get overstimulated, it's not good on the body.
No.
So eat.
Oh, we got plenty of good food in
Yeah,
the
they can
restaurant to
always
eat.
come and
so.
eat and drink and let them lights go away. Just enjoy
Yes.
your drink and your food. And
Some people, they'll just sit there and play and not realize it.
I know.
And then they order food because they know they're getting sick, and then it's too late
Yep.
Yeah.
sometimes. So training of the staff is probably my favorite thing in emergencies anyway.
Sweet. Sweet.
Hmm.
Any other questions?
Well, I think this
No,
was
you
pretty
looking
good
at me
one.
for another question, are you, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got?
What color did your hair used to be?
Are you saying that it's not that color now?
I don't know.
I was born gray.
It's been great so long you don't remember any other color, right? That's me.
That's about right.
Oh, man.
After you have kids, it all goes gray.
It does, doesn't it?
telling you.
Yeah, how fast does time fly, Mike Brown?
Oh my gosh. My kids were just babies. And one got married, and
That was your youngest, right?
yeah,
That just got married not too long ago.
21 years old and off on her own adventure. Enjoy them while you can, because sometimes
It goes fast.
it does.
It does.
Love my kids.
Yep.
It goes real fast.
Family's important,
Absolutely.
for sure.
But one of the good things about Mike having kids is when they get older and they kind of like fall in the same age group thinking, but you're not the same age, but you kind of like can relate on everything the same. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, when they mature a little bit, it's
Yeah,
definitely
more than a little bit. It's a lot. Like when they start getting old, like we are.
It's like,
When
oh,
they start going through the old process, it's like, okay, I can stand you. Go ahead and sit down here.
It's things like we're going through now with my parents, and
Right.
they get older, and you find that now you're hosting all of the holiday events and cooking all the food,
yeah,
and they're just there to participate.
Yep.
So,
yeah, you're that person now.
yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. The changes are tough.
But, back on the note here for the tribe, and I love every part of my job here. And for 17 years, I've been blessed to have great bosses and good people to work with. So you guys keep on keeping on until the next time.
Yeah, I think the future of the tribe with the management team here at the casino, role players in the tribe itself, M&E. I think we've got great people in good positions. So I am super excited about the future of the tribe.
Me as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to agree.
I'm excited for the things to come for sure. And there's a lot of good things to come.
Yes, there is, and I can't wait to tell it all.
Absolutely. Yep.
We'll give you your own podcast episode that day when we
Okay.
make them announcements.
Okay, thank you.
We'll move you to the middle chair, and me and Stephanie will interview.
Get out of here. I get to sit in the middle.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
man.
even make you a special guest moniker that comes up on the screen. Like,
Okay.
Teleprompter up there.
yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm excited anyways. So.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate
We
you
appreciate
having
you
on here,
coming.
Mike. It's
Yeah.
always a good time hanging out with you.
Thank you, Mike Brand. Well, that wraps it up. We appreciate you, Mike, for showing up and had a great conversation. More to come with the tribe and the casino. We're excited. So until next time, this is Over the Moon.
Peace out.
See ya.
Out.
See you later.